Hello and welcome, I am Mustard.
And I am Ketchup.
And you are watching the ESL Premiership Roundup powered by Windows 10 and Omen by HP.
So week 2 has just finished up for League of Legends. We had some returning faces, we had some older faces as well. In our first series of the night, GLB Esports would face off against Cyclone. Ultimately that did go down to a 2-0 victory in the favour of Cyclone, and in our second series, Bulldog Esports faced off against ESL Esports. Once again, did go down to a 2-0 victory. They're the scores of the night, but let's take more of an in-depth look over how those games actually went down.
Game 1 was a middle-of-the-table match between two teams looking to really make a name for themselves in this season's Premiership, with GLB qualifying for last season's Premiership and Cyclone being one of our Irish organisations. For the first 20 minutes, the two teams would be in deadlock, with neither team managing to really pull ahead of the other. This would change when Cyclone secured the Baron and pushed on to take game number 1. Unfortunately in Game 2, GLB were just unable to recover from the loss of the first game. Demo would once again get his Lee Sin and would cause complete chaos throughout the match, bagging Cyclone a 2-0 victory.
The second series was ESL Esports versus Bulldog Esports, Bulldog being one of the new faces to the Premiership, whereas ESL are a team of seasoned veterans. ESL would show us exactly why they have that name, as Bulldog took the advantage early on, but ESL showing better teamwork in the later half, taking their first win of the evening. In the second game, once again Bulldog would have an early lead, but that would soon be overtaken as ESL would snatch the lead away and the lead would steadily increase as the game went on. This slow burner of a match would result in a 2-0 victory for ESL Esports.
So, like before, that was only half of this week's games. Here is Munchables to take you through the rest.
The first series of the night was reigning champions M&M Gaming up against Team Xenex, two of the favourites for the entire tournament. Game 1, however, was not a pretty sight, as Deadly was unable to get online, and Furion, last season's jungler for M&M, had to step in. While this was bad news for M&M, it wasn't the only factor at play, as Xenex looked to make clean work of the game. There were mechanical outplays galore as well as clean team play shining through from the Xenex side. Their rotations and objective control were on point, and there seemed to be very little M&M could do about it. As if one game wasn't enough, it was time for round 2, and Xenex were not letting up. Deadly was back, but it made very little difference. Right from the word go, Xenex took the lead and did not let their stranglehold drop for even a second. Xenex played out the game, once again looking like a calm and coordinated unit, playing as a team and making sure each member was in the right spot with the right teammates nearby. M&M, however, looked like the exact opposite, trickling into fights one by one and not really managing to trade anything effectively. This was a bad week for the fan favourites. Unfortunately, we only have one game of the final series of the night, but we have been blessed as it was an absolute bloodbath and one of the closest games of this season. Enclave versus Pariah was an exceptionally close 42-minute slugfest with fights going either way. Generally speaking though, as you can see from the clips we have, the fights and trades would go the way of Enclave. Throughout the game, Enclave managed to maintain a slight gold lead over Pariah, but nothing of major significance until it was truly down to the last couple of team fights. In the later stages of the game, Enclave finally managed to beat back the waves of Pariah and take the series 2-0.
So now week 2 is done and dusted, and we've had a bunch of matches played. Let's talk about who has the early lead. As we can see here, Xenex very comfortably sitting at that number 1 spot so far, but I think the joint second underneath them currently being Cyclone and ESL means that that's a comfortable spot early on, but definitely not too late to make a difference.
Well, every win will come into play. I can see just at 4th and 5th here, we've got M&M Gaming and Enclave Gaming. M&M currently your season champions for the Premiership, with a lot of weeks to come and show that they can once again make the finals. But when there is like one set victory separating the teams, then you want to get as many wins as you can now, so you just have less to stress about early on. But so far looking quite consistent.
So that's everything from us this week. You have been watching the ESL Premiership Roundup powered by Windows 10 and Omen by HP. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.